And good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Depends on when you see this video. I just want to say welcome to my channel if you're brand new, and if you are returning, I thank you for coming back. I have a lot of regular viewers who like to see some of my daily updates of what I'm doing in my daily activities to pay the bills and make ends meet. Today's a special day. Today is January 15th, 2025, and it's the first day that I got paid from my courier position, where I'm running around, running the roads, delivering medications to seniors and other packages. So we're going to chat about that, and we'll get on to that. Right now I'm parked at Safeway because I've got some orders. So stick around. We'll discuss a few things and maybe get a coffee. Stick around. I just put a bunch of the packages on the front seat, and I got a couple boxes in the back. So it's going to be 6 runs here first thing this morning. So that'll be great. So I can get on the road here. Like I say, we're just over at Safeway. And once again, I turn around here. Price of gas has not come down at all either. So I will have to go and throw maybe $20 in at a time until the price comes down. Gotta do what you gotta do. Well, I just dropped off some medications to one of the gentlemen there at his home, but you got to ring the doorbell 3-4 times, and that didn't seem to work because I think maybe his doorbell wasn't working. So then I had to knock on his door, on the glass door. That maybe he didn't hear that, so then I opened the glass door and I knocked on his hard door. Finally, he came to the to answer, but I think maybe some of these gentlemen and these ladies are a little hard of hearing, especially when you get into your 80s and beyond. Some of them are 90. So dropped that off and everything was good. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on a couple things here about I got paid today. So that was great. Now, I got paid for December 19th to December 31st, and there was only a few days in there. And then, of course, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve were only half days, if that. So I got paid $632.97. So it was a little less than I was thinking, because I was thinking I was getting paid for January, but no, it's okay. It makes sense. I got my statement, and that's okay. And the second thing I want to do is I want to thank you folks, because I was able to cash out my buy me a coffee amount. So there was a couple $100 there, because some of you folks had donated, $10, $50, and so forth. So thank you again for buying me a coffee. That link is in my description. So some people sent me $2. So anytime I buy a coffee, and I'll go get a coffee here pretty soon, that coffee is from you folks for buying me a coffee. So that couple of $100 plus the $632, that's good. And then I get paid again on the 31st of January, and that will take care of my mortgage and all that kind of good stuff from my work, from my running around. And that'll be a lot bigger. So I thank you folks so much. Like I say, anybody who donates or throws me one of those little super thank yous in my comment section, I appreciate that too. And I think tomorrow or Friday I will do a video on my 1 month of being monetized. I do see it is broken down into December and January, but I'll cover the entire month. So I'll do that over the next couple of days as well. And then I got some other ideas we can chat about throughout the day, but I'm going to get on the road here and keep driving. So I am excited to see how the day is going. It's 3 degrees Celsius, which is like 40, maybe 40 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. I'll double check that, but it's going to get a little nicer today. So we will keep on the roads. You folks stick along, come along for me, come along for the ride with me. Easy for me to say. Okay, let's keep it going. I just dropped off kind of a big box. Actually, it was a box for a lady who didn't look to be that old, maybe early 60s, maybe a little older than me, but she came to the door and very nice, and I gave her the box and I asked her if she wanted it put on a little shelf that was there, and she said no, on the ground is fine. She had a cane, she was walking with a cane, and then as I was leaving, she goes, "Here, I have something for you," and she went to give me a tip. I thought it was like a $5 tip. And I said, no, I don't like taking money from seniors, but sometimes I always refuse, but they always insist. And the lady gave me a little bag here with two fives, $10. And she said that she really appreciates, she says that she gives it to everybody who delivers to her because she appreciates us doing that, especially when it's icy or it's cold and miserable. She has a cane, so she can't get around. But there are so many good people in the world. Well, you know that. You folks are wonderful. Whether it's donating a couple dollars here and there, or just viewing my channel. You know, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my channel. That helps a lot. Getting those viewer hours, that adds revenue. I told her I'm 62 years old and I lost my job 7 months ago, so I'm doing this delivery to try to make ends meet. And I'm not trying to give her a sad story, but it's the truth. You know, we all have to do what we have to do to put food on the table, or pay the utilities, have heat in the house. So, you know, my heat bill went up a little bit. It's actually not the heat, but the electricity and the water, probably because he had the Christmas lights on in December. So my bill in January will be a little higher. But you do what you got to do, folks. So you know that. I have a lot of you folks that are also kind of down on your luck, or you've lost your job, or things like that. So anyway, I am going to continue with these orders. I got 4 more to go here, and then hopefully I'll get a bunch more. But we'll continue this conversation, and I'll have to go get a coffee after. Okay? Look at some of these homes. It reminds me of when I was much younger, I guess, and I met my wife. A lot of her family and a lot of the relatives and whatnot all lived in these big houses that were built in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Not these particular ones. I didn't video where I just came from, but now these folks are in their 80s and 90s, and they're still living in these huge houses. So I would imagine they're going to downsize eventually, but it's quite interesting to see a lot of these houses. As I mentioned, it's not necessarily these ones, but the same kind, the same style. So yeah, it's just interesting to see how life changes. You know, we're young, we get married, we have children. We get into a bigger house, and then eventually a bigger house as our children grow. And then the children grow up and move away, and we are left alone. Maybe our spouse passes away, and now you're a woman or a man in your late 70s or early 80s, and you have no one. Maybe your children have moved away to a different city or a different province or a different state. if you're in the US. It's called the Circle of Life, I guess. You know, I was asked, now that I'm in my 60s, if I had any advice for anybody in their 20s. So, as I'm driving, let's just have a little conversation. When I was in my 20s, I was kind of scared, you know. I was scared to travel. I was scared to do a lot of things. I have a brother and I have 3 sisters. My brother passed away in 2017, fairly young. I think he was 65, but he was a heavy smoker and he had a heart condition, so he passed away. And then I have some older sisters. They're quite a bit older than me, in their late, early 70s and middle 70s. And then one is only three years older than me, and we were very close growing up. But I was always the kind of person that kind of went with the sure thing. I was not much of a gambler. I never did things that were too extreme. So all my brother and my sisters, they all left home fairly early. They were in their teens when they left home. But I knew that I would be better off living under my mother's rules than living on the streets. Now remember, we're talking about the 1970s and late 70s and early 80s. So I was always the kind of guy that thought, you know, I'll take the sure thing, and I'm not going to take chances. So I was kind of scared to do certain things, and I admit that. But having said that, that means I never traveled. You know, just moving to Edmonton when I was 22 was a big step, because I was by myself. I didn't know anybody other than one gentleman that helped me out and gave me a place to stay for a little while until I got working. And I've got other videos on all this stuff as well. But if I can give anybody any advice looking back, one of my biggest regrets is I didn't travel. I didn't, all my jobs didn't pay very much. So I was always kind of living, paycheck to paycheck or so. And so that's not really an excuse, because you can put a little bit of money away, $10, $20 a month or a pay period here and there does add up. But I just didn't take those chances. And I never had a girlfriend until I was a little older. I guess I was 20. Yeah, 22. I had a girlfriend, and then I had a couple of girlfriends here and there and whatnot. So, and then I got serious and ended up getting married. But if I can give any advice to anybody who's in their 20s and they're single, or even if they're a young couple and they don't have children, do a little traveling first. Now it's so easy, and it can be expensive, but it can also be inexpensive depending on where you go. So if you're working, you've got a job, maybe do a little traveling. Don't be scared. Don't watch the news and be scared, because the news, they're always trying to keep us afraid. Because if they keep us afraid, they can control us, right? So I think that's my biggest thing, is take lots of video, take lots of pictures of places you go, because you'll have those memories. You'll have those memories until you no longer can remember. So that's my advice. Take it as you will. We are going to grab a quick coffee here at McDonald's. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Jerry. I just ran into one of my viewers, longtime viewers, and subscribers. And his name's Jerry. So we had a little conversation. So that's the first time I actually got to meet somebody who follows my channel in person. But I'm gonna grab a coffee here and get on the road. And I think I'll wrap up this video because it's gonna be too long. So if you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, comment, share, ring that little notification bell, and we will see you in the next video. God bless.